Now, before you think that you know where this commentary is going to go, clear your minds. It's going to talk about something that I think is important, that I think that we should be talking about. Now, I know there are going to be some people going to leave comments, they're going to be dismissive of it, or going to assume they know automatically what this is about. It's not what you think it's about, okay? So just bear with me. Back in the 90s, especially the mid to late 90s, studios were trying to figure out what the next blockbuster would be. What would be the next thing? And it had been rumors for years that Wesley Snipes wanted to do superhero projects because a lot of black fans of action movies and TV shows and comics saying, why don't we see more black leads, male or female leads in superhero roles? And Wesley at that time was extremely popular. A lot of people forget that Wesley was probably, before Will Smith, was probably the next black actor in Hollywood that everybody had went to. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is just observation: skin tone. Wesley is a darker skinned brother. Will Smith is not that light, but he's lighter than Wesley, and he's Will is always on. So that's why Wesley Snipes never made it as big as he should have. In my personal opinion, I think Wesley is a better actor than given credit for. But I digress. Wesley was one of the produce a series of superhero films, Black Panther and Blade. And at the time, he was trying to say which one could he go, what would be easier to translate, which one. He said he didn't want to do the Black Panther film. You couldn't do it with a big budget because, as we seen with the recent Black Panther film, you need a budget. And the studio would never gave him that kind of budget. And what was easier to do was Blade. But Wesley made Blade his own. A lot of the Wesleyisms that we see Blade is so ingrained in our head. Any actor that come across that does Blade now, they're going to be compared to Wesley Snipes. Just like any actor that does Superman is going to be compared to Christopher Reeve and even George Reeves. Wesley did Blade. It was a hit for Marvel, and it influenced the modern day superhero movies and TV shows. And the influence of Blade was felt on the show called Smallville. I know y'all gonna say, huh? But if you watch the episodes where the Tom Welling character were all black, even Michael Rosenbaum, Lex Luthor were all black, and in the later seasons when Tom Welling was figuring out who he was trying to be, was he the red, blue blur, or whatever he was. I forget. It's been a while since I watched it. I'm a Superman fan, but I really haven't watched Smallville in like 5 years, to be honest with you. Uh, we went all black, and they had the character Zod do all black. That was basically copy for Blade. And people had to remember that Smallville was extremely popular, which gave us the modern day DC universe on the CW, and even influenced the DC movies from Batman Begins, Superman Returns, all up to the current DC line. Because Michael Rosenbaum's name is always floated, but the influence of Blade was felt on that show too, even though it doesn't get its due. Only one that actually acknowledged Blade was probably Stan Lee, and that's probably it, besides fair diehard comic fans. And speaking of Smallville, why aren't the people out there yelling about Allison Mack? Everybody else got yelled about but Allison Mack because it is going to improve something that the so-called Caucasian female is not as innocent as she claimed to be, and tell you how sneaky some of them can be and how sexualized a lot of them are. But I digress. But back to Smallville. Smallville popularity at people at Warner started to think, hey, maybe we should go ahead and finally get that Superman movie that we've been trying to get off the ground since 1991. Because the Superboy TV show was immensely popular, which led Warner Bros. To put a lien on the show. That's how you got Lois and Clark, and they was testing the water to see if Lois and Clark is popular. Maybe we should go do the movie. If Lois and Clark became popular, they got Nicolas Cage to do it, but for some reason it didn't work out right, so they scrapped the movie. And so they said, "What? Who can we get to do Superman?" Who can we get Superman to do it right and do it with pay respects to what's gone before, but going to a different direction? Well, they went and got Bryan Singer, who directed the first two X-Men films, who directed Out Pupil and some other movies. And I think one of the other movies starred Kevin Spacey. Now, at that time, I didn't know Bryan Singer's sexuality. It shouldn't matter. But come to find out during the movie after it was out, became a surprise. Hit the first X-Men that he was gay. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Because he started talking about the allegories and all the other stuff. You know, that thing, he mentioned Martin, Malcolm, Magneto, Xavier and stuff. But one of his friends, or somebody he worked with on a regular basis, was Kevin Spacey. And for years, comic book fans have said that Kevin resembles Gene Hackman. And so when they finally cast the movie, Bryan reached out to Kevin. Kevin said, sure, no problem. Okay, we got Superman Returns. And I still say it's an underrated movie, but okay, it is what it is. Well, Kevin did Superman Returns, and he did other movies, but it was rumored about Kevin's sexuality for years. Is he gay? Is he not gay? And before he had this incident, he did a skit on one of these award shows. He said, I'm coming out something. I think he was doing a Diana Ross song, and people are like, oh, he finally admitted he was gay. And I'm like, it shouldn't matter if he's gay or whatever. It doesn't matter. But people in the gay community make a big deal about it. And they want to broadcast the whole world that they gay shouldn't hide. You shouldn't hide who you are. But you shouldn't have to go and broadcast what you do personally, intimately in the bedroom. That's your business. Well, Kevin Spacey started like he was starting to finally come out of the closet, or finally people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter." You know, he's on a popular Netflix show, House of Cards, and whatnot. But then the Me Too movement. Well, it wasn't called the Me Too movement at that point. A bunch of white women was going after a bunch of older white cats or dudes they worked with. Gretchen Carlson, the one that took the lead, and people started to see they can get paid. Now, mind you, you didn't have any proof. Just say somebody did something or was accused, or somebody was accused of before. They say, well, if they was accused of before, it had to be true. Everybody realized she got paid. A slew of white women came out. And I even said it's a matter of time before somebody in the gay community come out. And I was being flippant when I said it. Little did I know that Kevin Spacey would be accused of assault. Well, the first person to accuse him is a fellow actor. He's currently on Star Trek Discovery. And I forget his name, but he if you might remember him from Adventures in Babysitting, where he was the redhead dude, played their friend. Well, he's originally from Chicago, but I guess that's how he got cast. You know, at that time, John Hughes used to do a lot of movies in the Chicago area because he's from the Chicago area, or was. He since passed on. But what happened was the actor was doing a play in New York with Kevin Spacey, and somehow Kevin said, "I'm throwing a party at my apartment." So this kid at the time wanted to come. Now, I understand you want to go party and hang out, but why would you want to hang out with grown ass people that you barely, you just work from a work standpoint? And I want to know where the hell was his guardians that let their child go out there and party. But I guess it was a New York Hollywood play thing, whatever. So he goes to Kevin's apartment and goes to Kevin's bedroom, and he stayed in there. And I'm like, why would you stay? If you're going to a party, you want to meet with your castmates or the adults. Why don't you hang in this man's bedroom, watch this man's television? Now, right then and there, people should have figured this boy probably knew what he wanted. He was sexual. And he was a boy. So Kevin should have known never to fuck with an underage kid. But what happened was, I guess Kevin realized that this boy was in his room. And he's like, why are you in the room? He said, well, I just thought we were just going to hang out. Right then and there, people should have said, this boy knew what he wanted. He wanted Kevin. He probably had a crush on Kevin. Kevin supposedly flirted with him, and the boy didn't like it. He left. Nothing else happened. Fast forward 30-something years, and now you hear about him say, well, Kevin made a pass at me. And when that happened, the floodgates open up. Everybody come out. This mother come out saying her son was broke and past and other parts of the country or the world, people came out and said it. And the Netflix show House of Cards quickly got rid of his ass because they didn't want to be associated with it. And when Kevin came out and talking about his homosexuality or whatever, people like Ellen, other people in the gay community blasted him because they was afraid that people would start associating pedophilia with homosexuality. But let's think about the Catholic Church. How many gay men and women who have been caught doing things with of the same sex, especially gay men? So they wanted to distance themselves from Kevin Spacey. Now, me, I'm not taking any sides in this because, as I said before, it's easy to accuse somebody when you don't have proof. And I question anybody who wait years to come by and say something or jump on a bandwagon. But the other day, Kevin Spacey did released a video, and the character that he played from House of Cards. Now I get what he was doing, but I think it was inappropriate. But the media, the news anchor, it was creepy. It was creepy. There are a lot of things that people in Hollywood or in the entertainment industry or the land of make believe do is creepy. But I got what he was trying to say, that I'm being persecuted. I'm listening, and the reason why, and I think he referred to the House of Cards because every time it mentioned Kevin Spacey, it mentioned the show House of Cards. So he's linked to it no matter what he does. So I guess he figured, yeah, I'd do a PR, go out here and say, well, I'm going to character. Now, if I was his press agent, and I was like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it because people might find it inappropriate. Not creepy, but inappropriate. They used the word creepy. And this is why the gay community, I think they're full of shit. All of a sudden, he gets accused and they start using these terms: creepy, suspicious, stuff that back in the 1950s and 60s and even up until maybe the 90s, they how would describe the gay community. But yet, y'all was willing to go out and crucify Kevin Hart. Now, I'm not a Kevin Hart fan like that, but Nick Cannon pointed out hypocrisy like I have. So he did something character. Instead of using the word creepy, he should have said just inappropriate or the timing was off. But my thing is, I was watching the news yesterday and they played audio from the court with a cop supposedly saw the video. And Kevin said, and lawyer said, did you see anything in the video that suggests that Kevin touched him, his genital area? They said no, that I could just touch his shirt or whatever, tapped his shirt. And I'm sitting there like, wow. I said, now, what if this guy didn't do what he was accused of? What if this guy just out there just have a thing for young dudes? Now, my thing is that we live in a land of hypocrisy. We got adult women mess around with teenage boys, teenage girls, and people. Oh, just one of those things. Every week we hear something in the news. And at the beginning of this conversation, you heard me mention Allison Mack. She did a sex ring. Nobody's calling Allison did was creepy. They was branding people. Now I know y'all can say, Harvey, it's like you're defending Kevin Spacey. No, I'm calling that hypocrisies. Now, Kevin Spacey can be a predator. He can very well be the predator they say he is. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt to get all the evidence because in this society, we like to assign guilt because somebody said you did something. I find it amazing that when black folks put out racism and we got actual historical proof that these people are doing this. Are you sure? You don't know what their intentions. We don't know what their heart. When women get caught, oh man, she's just probably lonely or she's probably going through something. White women in particular, I should say. And when members of the gay community get accused of something, the gay community, they cut their own throats. The gay community quickly came out and cut Kevin Spacey. Well, have nothing to do with him. But before that, they loved Kim. That proves the gay community ain't no different than any other community. But the gay community got to answer something. What if Kevin Spacey did what he did? When is the gay community going to address that there are men and women who prey on young people or have confused young people in their sexual identity? And then when a parent's going to start being honest about their children engaging in behaviors that they shouldn't engage in? I mean, let's be honest. An 8-year old, 9-year old, 10, 11, 12-year old really ain't gonna know the way of the world. 12 years old, you might have a little understanding. You might start to understand it, but still, by the time you 14, 15, 16, you know what's up. Now, does it give her a right to go out and do that? That means that some adult will take advantage of you? No. But these kids are not messing with children their own age. Let's just be honest. The dude that came out, who's an actor, who's been acting for years, was on Star Trek. He went to Kevin's apartment. He didn't stay in the living room or dining room, everybody else. He went to his bedroom and stayed there and was mad that Kevin had come in. When he left, when he was leaving, Kevin said, "What's going on? Why are you in the bedroom?" And go listen to what the guy even said. Now that doesn't give Kevin the right, if he did what he did, to take advantage of him because he was a kid. But parents need to, we as society need to quit pretending these kids are angels and they know what they do. I remember, look at the Alpha Once a kid. He was old enough and smart enough to go into Walmart with his friends, still looker. He was old enough and smart enough to get behind a wheel knowing he had a license. He was old enough and smart enough to go around with his mom. See, when black kids do things, they know what they're doing. Send them in jail. White kids, their age, they're innocent. They were being manipulated. And then these other accusers say so. Remember, Bryan Singer was also accused. But see, Bryan Singer is still a big director. Bryan Singer is still bringing butts into the movie complexes. Kevin Spacey career is not like that or wasn't like that. That's why he went to Netflix. See, when actors that was big at one point start going back to TV or now these streaming sites or to cable, their careers are in a state of flux. They know they ain't getting them calls anymore. Kevin wasn't getting those calls anymore. Now he was supposed to do a movie, I forget, based off what's this rich dude, his grandson, I can't think of the name right now. Kidnapped him, chopped his ear or something. I can't think of the movie. Christopher Plummer had to go in and reshoot the scenes. The movie with uh, Michelle Williams and Mark Wahlberg. I can't think of the movie. Came out beginning of this year. But anyways, the gay community need to address something. When they deflected from Kevin Spacey, threw him under the bus. They need to talk about something that everybody knows. That usually when these kids are molested, usually they from a large number of them from the gay community. Now that's not me going after gay people and just pointing out something. Now if Kevin Spacey did what they said he did, there's a lot of gay people that have done this, and we've seen the news with the priests, even nuns. Have you ever noticed the nuns look kind of butch or very butch? The priests come like, "Hi." Look at the black church. I mean, come on. The gay community don't want to have this conversation. This is why they disassociate themselves with Kevin real quick, because they don't want to bring no heat. Because first they said, Ellen and remember one of the sites came out and everybody came like, "Kevin, you wrong for you." And no, you know. If y'all gonna go after and call this dude creepy, and what he did was creepy, you can't ignore all the other crap that's going on within the gay community that have been creepy or questionable. Remember, Todd Bridges has stated that when he was on Different Strokes, his father, best friend, was his buddy, his pal, his uncle, some way a business co-manager, whatever he was. Todd, I can't remember exactly, but I know he's a friend of Todd's parents, his father more so. He was molesting Todd, and Todd he was confused. He got excited, and I keep telling y'all that's a biological response. Any human being will be excited if somebody is stimulating that area of the body or areas that you're going through puberty. If it wasn't for Dana Plato and him having sex on a regular basis and her doing things with him in the bedroom, he said he'd have been confused. And for some reason, nobody likes to talk about that story. Or they talk about Todd's past, getting arrested, but they don't mention that part. Remember, Oprah was dismissive of it. I'll never forget that. I mean, you can't. I know people gonna say, "Well, it's like you're defending Kevin Spacey or what?" No, 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 no. I'm playing out the hypocrisy, and I'm also playing out a bigger. Sorry about that doorbell. But if I repeat something, I apologize. But the reason why I'm doing this commentary, as I said before, is that people like to pick and choose who they want to go after or who they want to make the sacrificial lamb. And my thing is, if Kevin did what he did and they got proof, then his hell to pay. You know what I mean? But seeing what they did to Bill Cosby, and when we see how a lot of innocent people have been run through the mud, or people have exaggerated certain things, or certain celebrities have gotten away with things that should be brought to light, I'm going to reserve judgment. Now, do I agree with the video he did? Do I think it's in poor taste? I don't think it's in poor taste. I think it was ill-advised. I get what he was trying to do. Like I said, he's closely associated with the show House of Cards. And I guess that's what he said. Well, everybody keep mentioning House of Cards and everything. I'm going to mention then the House of Cards production team. Instead of just in the production, they killed this character out. So I guess he said, well, remember, this is what you remember me as, and blah, blah, blah. But my thing is, it should be a larger conversation around the gay community. You know, people quick to analyze and talk about the black community, real or not, but somehow this community has insulated itself the last few years, especially. And it reminds me of the Jewish community, how anybody give any criticisms is called anti-Semitism. And like I said, there's times when people say things to us, and I'm like, they got a point, but the reason why I don't think they get a chance to, they should be able to say that, because for years everybody's gotten a chance to chime in, and a lot of things have been distorted. That's why I think black folk can push back in a way that other groups can't. But the thing is, to watch Craig Melvin over at NBC and many others over at CNN talk about, it's bizarre. It's stuff that Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon and T.R. Knight and many other these gay actors and reporters say on TV, I find bizarre and hypocritical. Look how Anderson Cooper threw Kathy Griffin under the bus. Look how Andy Cohen sat back on Michael Rappaport and gossiped about Kenya Moore, a black woman. The gay community is trying to make it out like Kevin Spacey, this admiration, like he's just weird. He did this, and like I said, if he did this and it's proof, he is held to pay. But the thing is that the media hasn't talked about Kevin Spacey in the way they talked about Bill Cosby. It was just allegations against Bill Cosby. The media deemed him as guilty. And notice they don't call the people that Kevin Spacey supposedly victimized victims. Asia Argento admitted to messing with her former co-star. He was underage. They never referred to that young man as a victim. See, they pick and choose how they want to cover stories, who they want to make villains. And see, they had to bring out a gay person to be the villain of the story, because there's a lot of things going on. How, remember, Terry Crews got his penis grabbed by an agent. It was within the statute of limitations, but it got dismissed. But Terry Crews, instead of him going out calling out the hypocrisy of the media, calling out the white community, he turned around and started attacking his father, the black community, and Bill Cosby. See, it's not hypocrisy going around here. See, this is one of the reasons why I haven't done a shitload of Kevin Spacey videos. Do I enjoy some of the movies he starred in? Yeah. Have I watched House of Cards? No. But I know of it. But I knew he was trying to use base trying to say, hey, I'm not guilty. He said the stuff that you think you know, you don't know. And the media has a way of getting a lot of crap wrong. And they never do retractions. How many have you heard the news really do say, hey, we apologize for the misinformation that we put out? How many of them they hide behind, we're the fourth estate. We're the ones that hold people feet to the fire. Remember, the same media now is bitching about Donald Trump is the same media that gave him cover and built him up. So all I say is this: when everybody kept saying it was creepy, no, it was ill-advised. That's the word you should have used, or the timing was poor, or he should never done it in character. It wasn't creepy. See, they're using this because he's accused of something. See, Kevin gonna be that stereotypical gay dude that everybody said stay away from the house down the street. But see, the gay community, they silent. because the gay community don't want to start answering questions they don't want to answer. That's why they've been silent on Kevin Spacey. That's why they quickly tossed him to the side. For years, everybody's wondering, is he straight or gay? Then as soon as he starts saying he's gay, then all of a sudden, boom. And you got an actor come out and say something happened 30-some years ago. Wait a minute, why'd you wait so long? See, that's me suspect. Now, some people say, well, maybe he was traumatized and blah, blah. Yeah, that could be it. But he went to Kevin Spacey's apartment. He went to his bedroom. He stayed in there. He was in whatnot. A lot of these young men are going like, what's the Elmo, the brother used to voice Elmo. Remember when the gay guy came out and it was stuff that came out the gay dude, but the damage was already done. And we know there's a segment of the gay community who kiss and tell. I'm just pointing this out because I'm sitting listening to everybody may come. I'm like, well, why do y'all talk about Brian Singer and these other white dudes over the years that have been accused of being? Old buddy played Principal Rooney in Ferris Bueller. He was he was molesting children. Nobody throws his name out there. And let me go back to the beginning of this commentary. Allison Mack. She was in a sex cult, a sex ring, and nobody talks about it. Asia Argento, she admitted to messing with an age, but she was out there with Rose McGowan leading that crusade, me too, and they was throwing Cosby under the bus. But all of a sudden, Rose McGowan, she didn't cut ties with him. Called out Melissa Milano. See, there's a bunch of hypocrisy. See, Hollywood is just this incestuous thing of sex and money and power. Who's gay? Who's straight? Who out young? How old? And when the media feel that, okay, we need a news story, and somebody get accused, they say, okay, this is what we're gonna fuck with this year. Kevin Spacey way last year. Now we about to go into 2019, and now he's creepy. They didn't use that word back when he first was accused. They knew the gay community was sensitive to it. But if Kevin came out and did it as Kevin Spacey and didn't do it, they wouldn't say he's creepy. There would certain questions, people start asking certain questions. This is why I tell black folk, be careful when we start repeating their talking points. Because my thing is, we should have a discussion about homosexuality. Is it biological? Is it mental? Is it a condition? Because if you're gonna talk about Kevin Spacey being creepy, why don't you use that language for the Catholic Church? Why don't you use it for these other white men and white women who go together every day, go teach our children who engage in questionable behaviors? Let's talk about the gay community, segment of the gay community hiding their sexuality to trick men and women in relationships. If you're gonna use the word creepy for what he was doing and what he said, then you need to analyze it all. This is not a defense of Kevin Spacey. It just is a hypocrisy it's glaring. Everybody loved Kevin Spacey a year ago. When that dude came out and accused him, everybody, a floodgate came open. And the thing is, the gay community immediately threw him under the bus. Because they don't want to be answering questions, or they want you asking questions that they can't give an answer for. Let's just be honest. There's a lot more to this than meets the eye, but like I said, I'm people like, man, Harvey, you see what Kevin Spacey did? I'm like, I didn't know you followed Kevin Spacey. Yeah, man, I watched the movie American Beauty. So yeah, okay, it was creepy. I said, are you saying it's creepy, or are you saying what the news is saying is creepy? Well, I think it was ill-advised. Yeah, it was ill-advised. Or I didn't think I would do something like that. But creepy? He was doing a character that everybody associate with him. Every time they mention Kevin Spacey, they mention House of Cards. You cannot mention Kevin Spacey without mentioning House of Cards. So Kevin figured, let me talk in character. It backfired. But the fact remains is, watching people use the term creepy, the news media has a way of putting stuff out there, and it lingers, and it becomes part of the lexicon. But like I said, we should have a big conversation about the contact that these kids are having with these adults, and these adults having with these kids. And then you need to call out people, male or female, who wait 20, 30, 40 years to say something. Now, if you said something to your parents or the adults at the time and they didn't do nothing, then you need to say, hey, I went and told my principal or the sister or the father that father such and such is doing this to me. Or I told my parents this is going on. They did nothing about it. But if you say nothing to no one, I find it suspect and the timing questionable.